Hello and welcome into another episode of The Playbook. I'm KPLC 7 Sports Director Ryan Blakely, joined here by the Iowa softball head coach, Kenzie Singletary. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And you're here because everyone voted you here for Team of the Week, maybe against your will a little bit, but we're just here to talk some Iowa softball. And what a great week you had last week with the 3 big wins in St. Louis, South Bow. Just what did you see from your girls that you liked last week?
They competed last week. It's something that we've been teaching them or been talking about for the entire season. Is you've got to learn to compete. I've got a young team. I've got a lot of newer faces, and so it's just trying to get them to buy in and get them to trust the process and learn how to compete. We had a rough start in the beginning of the season, and I mean, obviously, if you look at the record, it doesn't look like it was great. We had some tough competition. But I think that is what has made them able to compete how they were last week, for sure. I mean, they just refused to lose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and what are those big wins against St. Louis, against South Bow, this late in the season do for you, moving forward?
I mean, obviously, it kind of shifts the momentum. Going into playoffs, it makes them realize that, okay, we can play, we know how to compete, we know how to work. They're executing at the right time, so it's a big momentum shift going into the end of the season.
Yeah, and you saw at the beginning of March, obviously you went on that 5-game losing streak, but then bounced back with a 5-game winning streak after that. Just what did you see from this team during that stretch?
They never gave up, and we knew. I mean, we were prepared for it. We knew what we were about to go up against going into the losing streak, but they understood that as long as they kept working and kept believing that they could do it, that it would turn around, and I mean, obviously it did. It did.
Yeah, in order to have that turnaround and not have it kind of spiral out of control, you need some sort of good structural leadership. Is that coming from the senior group of this group? Obviously, you said you had a young team, but is there a senior core for this group?
So I have 2 seniors, and both of them great kids, just great people, and they've been around a while, and the team trusts them. They trust their leadership, and also have a junior, one sole junior. So she's kind of going to be like a 2-year senior, so to speak, just because sometimes you need a little bit more on the senior side. And so I just have great leadership with the team. Like, I hardly have to tell them when they need to get something. Like, they're ready to work. They know what has to get done. I mean, I'm just kind of there on the ship with them, but they're leading the ship. So
yeah, and just having such a young team, is that something new for you this year? Obviously, you've been coaching for 10 years, so maybe not super new, but any challenges that came with that?
Not really. And actually, I say that we're a young team. We have a lot of sophomore starters, but a lot of these sophomores were starting their 8th grade year.
Yeah.
So it's like we're always young. I feel like we're always young. We don't have a whole lot of experience as far as the depth goes. Like I said, we have 2 seniors, a junior, the rest are sophomore. I've actually have 2 freshmen and a couple of 8th graders in the starting rotation. So it's like we're constantly young, we're constantly fighting, and it's teaching them how to compete and teaching them how to battle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and obviously you've done a pretty good job at that. Just looking at the different wins and losses from all the years that you've been coaching. Took a lot of 20-win seasons coming at your time. Just what kind of went into building this Iowa program since you've been here?
A lot of it is just buying in. You have to trust the process. I mean, we've had people come and go, didn't like what they saw, weren't getting the playing time that they saw, but the ones that believed in the process and the ones that put the work in, obviously it paid off for those kids. I mean, I've had several groups that they were my starting, 8 to 10 players for 2 or 3 years. I mean, I just graduated 3 seniors that were 3-year starters. Yeah. So it's, it's a lot of the same kids that are playing over and over again. It's kind of been that way. I've always had a core group that starts for most of their high school career. So that makes it easy, and not having to teach reteach everything every year. We just kind of pick up where we left off and just adding a few here and there. So.
Yeah, just rinse and repeat once you have that culture in place,
Right.
and it just kind of plays out by itself. But there's always new faces that come in and new dynamics. Just this team specifically, how are they off the field or just in the locker room? Just how do you enjoy coaching them?
They actually, it's probably the best that a group has gotten along yet. We always have a good group of kids. I actually have phenomenal kids in Iowa. But there's always a few that don't get along with everybody. They have their little group, their little cliques. This team, they have the best chemistry that I've seen. They go in the locker room, and a lot of times they don't even talk softball. They're just goofing off, they're cutting up, they're getting along, they're having fun. And so that makes it a lot easier when they know that it's not just about softball. It's about friendships and relationships and just having fun and playing a little softball while we're at it. So.
Yeah, and just how have you seen that team chemistry that's so tight off the field show up on the field?
Right, absolutely. And you can see it. If you come watch the games, you can see the chemistry. They know that if somebody's having a bad day, there's always somebody to pick them up, and nobody's getting mad at each other for making a mistake or for having an off day. We have enough people behind their backs to lift them up. We just move on.
Yeah, so. It's a bit of a family affair for you as well, with your two daughters on the team, Olivia and Addison. Just
yes.
What has it been like coaching them for obviously a lot of years now?
It's been fun, and obviously it's just stressful at times on me and them. But I wouldn't trade it for a minute. Like, I wouldn't trade it. I love being out there with them. I love seeing their relationships with with their friendships. And I've grown to where some of these kids they're their best friends. So it's more like a family than my players. So it makes it nice to have that. The friendships there too.
Yeah. What kind of are the challenges about coaching two daughters on the same team? I know if my brothers were on the same team when we were in high school, I'd probably grow some issues just with the competitive style. But they really make it easy. Obviously you have the outside noise. That's the door. That's the coach's kids. But they make it easy. They get along. There's there's nothing that I have to worry about between them. No hostility of trying to be the better person. It's fun. They make it easy. They really do. So when Addison hit her first home run, and then Olivia went and hit one right after that, there was no competitive with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I always say home runs are an accident. I don't. I don't think she intended to do that. It just happened, but it just happened to be, you just had to steal her thunder. Like, you couldn't let her have her moment, which I'm not complaining. It was fun. It was exciting to see them go back to back. Like I said, I coached my nieces. They graduated about 4 and 5 years ago. They went back to back once, and it was really cool to see them go back to back. I'm like, that hasn't happened since the sisters, the last set of sisters. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, it's a good family momentum when that happens, of course. And just going over, obviously it's going to be Olivia's last year. You're coaching her as a senior. Have you been taking stock in that, where you have like a week, maybe a week and a half left? More than that now. You go to the playoffs, but just what is that final game at Iowa going to be like for you?
I'm not typically an emotional person, but I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. Yeah. I just want to enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride, because I know it's going to end soon. And so I've just really haven't been thinking much about it. Just day by day, enjoying each moment. So.
And just over her career as a whole, just where have you seen her grow the most as a person, as a player, and just as your daughter?
Just stepping up into the leadership role as an upperclassman, and being a multi-sport athlete. She's learned how to deal with different, styles. Different, you've got track, you've got softball, you've got volleyball. It's different groups of people, different types of competition, and so it's good to see her just kind of stay level-headed across the playing field and just do it, just fill in her role wherever it's needed.
Yeah, well, graduating high school brings on college and all of that. What is her future looking like? Does she have a few schools picked out, or we're still trying to figure all that out?
She's planning on going to McNeese. Of course, as far as what she wants to do, she has an idea for a career. She's, talking about kinesiology and occupational therapy. Yeah. She's considering continuing into pole vaulting, but, that's still to be determined.
Yeah.
So
staying close to home, though. That's
absolutely.
Always nice,
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, got to keep them close, and you've stayed pretty close to home pretty much your whole life. Obviously, graduated or went to school at Iowa, and then you're back coaching at Iowa. What has Iowa meant to you? Obviously, it's been your whole life, but just this community, and what makes it so special? It's
just a small knit community. everybody knows everybody. If you need something, you just look over your shoulder and there's somebody ready to help you out. Graduating from there, I actually helped coach who is now our principal. I helped him coach before he became the principal. He coached me in a summer league, so it's just like a circle that we just keep pouring back into the community.
Yeah, and I experienced that firsthand with the football big win,
right.
the state championship this year. I think the whole town was there at the Superdome when they won. Just they really do love their sports. That's for sure. What I've learned since I've been here. Just what is that felt like having that support as a head coach of a program?
Oh, it's amazing. That. It's a lot more fun playing a game in front of a crowd when you have the energy of the fans cheering you on, and it's crazy that the kids or that the athletes even look at that, but it does make a difference. It's nice to have the support, the cheer, and the energy, the noise, and all that. It just changes the game. And I think having been in that situation, as a former athlete with the fans, that have probably all come to school at some point. Through Iowa, it's different when you know that you've been there before, and now you can help. You can still help, even though you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, however old you are. It's just fun to see the support from the community coming back into the programs. Yeah, and I got to be careful about putting them on the graphic for the team of the week, because I feel like anytime I throw that logo up there, it's the next coach is coming for whatever sport. So I just can't put them every week, or else I'd be talking to you every week. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Obviously the season's coming to an end here, the regular season at least. Just what do you want to see from this team in the last couple games that's going to really help propel you into the playoffs? We're just going to have to keep the energy up. We're going to have to keep competing. Just the way they've handled adversity the last few weeks, like I said, when somebody's having a bad day, there's always somebody willing to step up and pick up the slack. And it's been amazing to see the support from each other, or each of the girls. And they're just going to have to continue to pick each other up, continue to compete and fight. Yeah, well, good luck with the rest of the season. Thank you so much for coming on again. Is there anything you want to say to the Iowa fans watching that voted you on here to be stuck talking with me? Oh, no, we appreciate your support. We'd like to see you come out and support them at the games, the remaining games that we have the rest of the season. Yeah, well, thank you so much again for coming on. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Yeah, that's going to end this episode of The Playbook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again for all of the highlights and scores from this week's baseball and softball games. Make sure to check out our brand new streaming show, Extra Innings, streaming this Saturday at noon. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.